Hi guys, my name is Sasha. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be doing the thank you next tag. Now this tag was created by The Story Ain't Over, and it is inspired by Thank You Next by Ariana Grande, which is a really fab song that is going on right now. If you haven't heard of it, you've probably been living under a rock, so definitely go check that song out because it is one of the best songs ever. So this tag is basically just a couple questions, like talking about the books that you've read that kind of inspired by the lyrics of the song. Let's just get into the tag. First question is, what is a book that you said thank you next to? So a book that you did not finish. And that book would be Tess of the Road by Rachel Hartman. I started listening to this on audiobook, and it was probably one of the first audiobooks that I've ever listened to, and I really wasn't getting into it. It was just very boring. There's nothing else I can say. I realized afterwards that it's a companion novel to Serafina, which I'm thinking maybe I should have read first, but maybe I'll get back into it another time. But right now, all I want to say to Tess of the Road is thank you. Next. The next question is, name a book that taught you love. And I'm going to go with a book that started my love for reading. Like, yeah, there were some like middle grade books and I'm like, oh yeah, this book, I just fell in love with reading altogether, and this would be Inkheart by Cornelia Funke. It's very whimsical and fantastical, and I just love every element of this book. If you haven't picked Inkheart up yet, I definitely go recommend. The next question is, name a book that taught you patience, and I'm going to go with Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. This is the second book, Royal Assassin, because I cannot find my copy of the first one anywhere, but it applies to this one too. So it taught me patience. Like, it is one of the first adult high fantasy books I ever read. There's lots of world building. There's not a lot of action happening either, but it got there in the end, and I just fell in love with these characters and this world. And so yeah, it took me a while, but in the end I fell in love, and it just taught me that patience really does help. And plus there is a character in the book called Patience too, which is like ha ha ha. The next question is, name a book that taught you pain, and I'm going to go with Lord of Shadows by Cassandra Clare. There is one death in this book that absolutely killed me, and it has killed anyone who has read this book. Let's just say that. And, like, I have cried for characters, but I don't think I have cried for anyone like I did for this one particular character in this book. And I'm not looking forward to reading Queen of Air and Darkness, but if you want to feel pain, read it. So the next question is, name a book that you loved at the time, but in hindsight you're not really liking so much, but it still gave you, like, it still taught you some sort of quality. And I'm going to go with Twilight by Stephanie Meyer. So I loved reading this back in grade 9, and it really reignited my love for reading. Like, I loved reading Inkheart when I was like 10 or 11 or primary school. So I read Inkheart in primary school and I loved it. But then coming into high school, I'm like, I'm too cool for reading. Like, who reads? But then the Twilight movies came out, so I read Twilight books, and like, I read these in like one stint, and it was amazing. Right now, if I read it again, I probably would not be the biggest fan of Twilight, but it still taught me my love for young adult, and it really sparked a whole era of young adult books. Next question is, name a book you're currently talking to or you have the hots for. And I'm currently reading Furyborn by Claire Legrand. Now, Furyborn is a 2 POV high fantasy book, and it's about these two queens, the Blood Queen and the Sun Queen, and they're both in different eras. Like, both stories are like centuries apart. Yeah, so you're in this time with the Blood Queen, and then you're over here in this time with the Sun Queen. So you're hearing things from the Sun Queen's perspective about the Blood Queen, but then you're hearing from the Blood Queen's perspective of when she gets to the end, like they kind of meet in the middle. But yeah, really liking it so far. I think I've only got a couple hours left of the audiobook, but it's a solid 4 stars right now for me. Now the last question is, name a book that gone last, or the book of you the book that taught you to love yourself a little bit more. And I'm going to go with Dress Codes for Small Cans by Courtney C. Stevens. This book is a gem. I just found it in my library ebook section and I'm like, yeah, why not? I'll pick it up, and I'm so glad I did. I just love the friendship group, and I love the different relationships she has with them all, and this book, it screams me, and I love it. There's nothing else that I can really say about it. So that was the thank you next tag. I'm going to tag Abby from Abby Lisi, the book lover, because who else would I tag? And I tag Shay from Shay's Pages. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you'd like to see more. Add me on Goodreads at sashreads and on Bookstagram at sashreads as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Bye.